Rocketeers, it is Charlie Rocket here, and I am bringing you a comic book review. Yay! Here in my lovely room, my humble abode. First, let me address this hair. Look at this. Oh, I just felt kind of like a magical punk kick-ass unicorn today, and so that's what I'm bringing to you. That's what I'm bringing. But anywho, back to comic books. All right, here we go. I read volume 2 of Face yesterday, and I read volume 1 quite some time ago, so I figured I'd kind of recap for you a little bit. It's not super fresh in my mind because it's been a long time. It's been months and months and months, but gotta say, I really love Face. It was the first Valiant comic book that I've read because let's be honest, because I'm probably sexist. I don't know. I'm just trying to shout out to the women, okay? A little bit of diversity. Can I get a little plus size action where we don't have to look like this big with like giant boobs and like decent butts? I'm not gonna say giant butts because they don't have like Beyonce booties in these comic books, but uh despite me constantly asking for it, no, but a little diversity. I was like, let me buy Face, and then I went to the Valiant booth at South Carolina Comic Con last year, 2017. Is that when it was? I think so. And I was like, I'm gonna buy Face, and they had some kind of deal going on, so I was like, let me get a couple other ones. Ended up getting Harbinger, Eternal Warrior, a bunch of stuff, a bunch of good old stuff. And Faith was the first one I read. So let me tell y'all about how much I love this bitch right here. Faith is basically a comic book about a female superhero who is exactly like all of my friends and me, kind of. Not fully me, because she seems like she's a little bit more social than I am. But a lot of my friends are just like her, and she's pretty freaking amazing. She's like, I'm a big nerd. I love comic books. I love video games. She's like, I'm down for anything and everything nerd culture. And I'm like, yes, girl, you live in your truth. And it's very rare that you find a woman who is into all of that magical stuff. And she also is not afraid to like punch somebody straight in the throat. You know, like she is ready for action. She wants to get some like action done, but then at the same time she's constantly daydreaming about boys and about her love life, and it's just all about her drama in her life. And oh my gosh, does he like me? I'm gonna marry him now, tomorrow. It's real life, and I love everything about her. And just her inner monologue is just spot on. Like everything I'd be thinking as a superhero. Like she's going through the most random thoughts, and I love it. It's like she's just a typical girl, except she like fights crime and stuff. That was a child asking me for yogurt. But anywho, moving on with Faith. So that was an introduction to Faith. The storyline in the first volume is amazing. It's just one awesome storyline all throughout. You're trying to find out what's going on with these missing people and these agents and all this stuff. Meanwhile, you're also building up her team, her computer guy. Everybody needs a computer guy, computer genius. And then she's just all about team ups. So you're creating this group of people she's going to fight with. You're finding out, oh no, this person's bad. Oh no, that person is like under some kind of brainwash situation. And it's just a lot of fun, a lot of action, a lot of sci-fi. I'm loving it. You'll love it. I promise. There's a lot of yelling at your ex-boyfriend. I always like a good yelling at your ex-boyfriend situation. That's like always fun. So moving on to volume 2. I was expecting a whole lot because volume 1 gave me everything. And volume 2 was good. I mean, it was all right. Here's what the problem was for me is that it was the same stuff, you know? It was like the same old, same old. It was almost the same story in the beginning, and then the second half of it was a completely different story. There was no build up to anything. Like the first half is possibly a villain that's going to come back later on. The second half was just like filler, you know, like a filler Naruto episode or something. Like the second half was just filler. But I still like the second half because Faith actually cosplays and goes to a con and does all this stuff. So I appreciated a lot of little things in there. All throughout, she gave con tips, and they were all real. They were all real life con tips, and she's taking somebody to a convention for the first time ever, her boo thing, and it was amazing. Like this con tip says, it's great to compliment cosplayers unless you're being gross or making people feel unsafe. Don't do that. And that's real life. And I feel like that shouldn't have to be a tip, but it is one. So take that to heart, guys. Like for real. Another thing, they mentioned cosplay throughout this entire thing, and I appreciate that mess. She meets a cosplayer who is a huge fan of Faith, and she mentions being able to recognize people under their costumes. So if Faith is like dressed up or has a secret identity or something, I can recognize you because I'm so used to trying to recognize my own friends in their costumes on a day-to-day basis, you know? And that is really real life. Like I look at some of these superheroes, like I always joke about like Clark Kent. Oh, you put on the glasses and you don't even know it's him. Oh my God. But real life in that last Superman movie though, like he did kind of look different. But as a cosplayer, you're gonna be looking at that person real hard like, you kind of look like Superman. I don't know. So it's the same thing. And she mentions that, and it kind of like touched my heart in a way that, I don't know, nothing but cosplay ever will. But it was kind of the same stuff. Like she has the same kind of dialogue in her head. She's still talking about the boys. She's still doing all those things, and it's not bad because those are all the things I love about Faith. But it's a very similar storyline. I will say the second half, spoiler alert, she somehow has a double. Like, and her entire inner monologue about having a double is a double or a clone or whatever the second one is. Her entire inner monologue is probably word for word the exact same stuff I would be thinking. Like, one of us has to be an evil one, and should I destroy it? Are we best friends? Wait a minute, isn't dating going to be weird like this? I don't know. If we're sharing the same mind, we could totally fight crime together, and it'd be awesome. Ooh, we could shop together. We could talk about movies. We could talk about nerd stuff, talk about comic books. But wait, go back again. Isn't dating going to be weird? Because I don't know. But it might be worth it. But that's basically her whole thought process about having like a body double, like a clone person. And I probably would have the exact same thoughts, real life. She doubled back to dating quite a few times. And I feel like that would be me. But I digress. I think it's awesome. I think it's building up to something else. The first half, like I said, it was a villain who they say is coming back later. You know, something that started here but is not complete. So I'll wait and see volume 3 and 4, what goes on there. There's also some like other comic books, including Faith, that build up to volume 2. So if you read those, then you might have some more insight. I actually have one of them, so I should probably actually read it. But I'm loving Faith. I'm loving her a lot. They mentioned like changing her costume. As much as I like her costume, the thought of her changing into something a little sassier, I feel like I'm down for that. Like I'm trying to find it. Like, look at this. Look at this right here. Yes, honey boo boo. She be giving me all the curves, all the looks. She be like, hey there, sexy. That's all I need in my life. Is Faith just like, yes, yes, like living in her truth. All the curves, all the sex appeal. I'm down for it. I'm here for it. But like I said, I love Faith. You guys should pick it up. Volume 1, flawless. Volume 2, a little slow. I wasn't like super captured because, I mean, like I said, it's the same as Volume 1. I was expecting something more, but sets us up for the future. So please comment on my last video, either on Instagram, Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you're watching it. Comment on it. Tell me what I should be reading next. Should it be volume 3 of Faith? Should I continue down this path of magic? Or am I bored? Or do I need something else? Because sometimes I do. Sometimes a girl needs some change. So if you want a hint, Peter Parker. No, anything's fine, so. Okay, but Faith is creeping up the ladder of my favorite superheroes. So I hope you enjoyed my beautiful review. Faith is still going strong for me. We'll see how that goes. It's happening. I'm excited. You're excited. I'm rambling at this point, so I'm going to go. Okay, love you guys. Mwah!